So I'm off to the supermarket. I want to get the ingredients to make bread. So I need flour and yeast. Wish me luck. You know, I just want to say props to the nurses and the doctors out there who have to wear this all day, because man, just 30 minutes in the supermarket and I'm sweating like crazy from all the fog. I have ear fatigue, so props to them. But I didn't find any yeast. It's one of the biggest problems that people have had who make bread, that they can't find yeast. And we'll have to do something about that, do something different. Let's see what we do. So here we have that freshly picked loquat. As you can see, it's about the size of a small plum, yellowish, orangish in color. They have a fuzzy layer around them, and when we were kids, we would just wipe it on our shirt. I cleaned this one already. I want to take a bite into it and describe its flavor and show you the large seeds that they have inside. Really juicy because we've had a lot of rains here in San Diego. The flavor is really subtle, it's not very sweet. Pear-like in flavor, very subtle pear. But what we're gonna do with this is we are going to make yeast water for the bread that we're gonna make. And we're also gonna make a loquat jam to spread on that bread. It's gonna be awesome. Let's check it out. Take a handful of unclean, fresh picked loquats, cut them in half, and remove their seeds. Take your processed loquats and you're going to want to add them to a clean jar. Then you're going to want to fill up that jar with clean filtered water. Do not use tap water. Every day you're going to want to release the buildup of CO2 and to also give the jar a shake. After about 5 days, you're going to see a lot of bubbles form on the top. It's also going to fizz like soda. So I've got my jar of loquat water here, and you can see a lot of bubble formation going on. I'm gonna open it up and I wanna smell it. Maybe that'll give us a hint of what's going on in there. Wow, there's a really strong smell of alcohol going on. You could also smell the loquats, but a tiny hint of yeast smell, kind of like bread. I think it's ready for baking. First, you'll want to separate your yeast water from the fruit. This recipe calls for 3 cups of flour. Add a tablespoon of salt. Sugar too if you want, and mix it all together. we'll want to add 1.5 cups of that beautiful Loquat yeast water. Cover it with a towel and let it sit overnight. While we're letting that dough rest, let's make that Loquat jam. Depending on how many Loquats you're going to process, this might take a while. You could throw it in a blender if you want, but I like things chunky and funky. This recipe requires twice the amount of fruit to sugar, hence the balance. Close enough. Now mix it all together and let it sit for an hour. Now when you cook your jam, it's really important to stir throughout the whole process. This took me about 30 minutes. So how did the dough turn out? Did it rise? Not as much as I was expecting. The dough is really sticky, as you can see. I like to flour everything. You're gonna wanna place your dough in a pan and let it sit for an hour. In the meanwhile, set your oven to 425. I set the timer for 27 minutes. I'm looking for air pockets in the bread. Nice. It means that the yeast did their job. Taste test coming up with some vegan butter and that Loquat jam. Dude, check out that consistency. So it's breakfast time. I got one toast with butter on it, the other with a Loquat jam. First I want to try out just how the bread tastes. see if the Loquat had any flavor on it. Let's see if there's a crunch to it. It's amazing. Wow. Really, really good. Let's try that Loquat jam. Mmm. Man, home run, out of the park. Good job, Jensen. I'm gonna enjoy this.